As we know, this module is dealing with certain fundamental material properties and its relevance in technology. And you will be remembering that this entire MOOC course is titled Nanotechnology, a primer. So this nanotechnology, in order to achieve nanotechnology, one of the major components which one cannot neglect is the nanomaterial. So nanotechnology and the nanomaterials are very much linked. So for that matter, for any technology, the kind of material with which you achieve that technology is very critical. That is, for example, the artificial intelligence is considered to be the technology of the future, or the technology which is going to come out in a bigger form. So in that artificial intelligence technology, the intelligence part is very much linked to the kind of sensor with which the system gets the intelligence. So what is sensor? Sensor is basically a material and its material property to sense various input informations. Again, quantum computing is another technology which is going to come out. In the quantum computing, although we know that all the computational part is very much being achieved, the only bottleneck which hinders the progress of the quantum computing as a technology in the day-to-day daily practices is the material with which we can really achieve the quantum computing. So like that, in nanotechnology also, nanomaterials are very much the deciding factor which will tell yes or no for a success for any technology in the nanotechnology. Materials and its technology are very much linked. So that's what I wanted to communicate to you first of all. So coming to materials specifically, you know the examples of the materials. We know the metals, like say materials are many times made up of the metals. For example, the copper, silver, the gold, all those metals. Or the materials can be the artificial also. For example, the plastic, rubber, all those are majorly artificial materials. So whatever it is, the technological advancement is very much linked to either the artificial materials or the natural materials. So, but what decides a material? Why a material should be used? That is one thing. That is one important question which one always addresses, right? The material which you use for your footwear is not the material which you use for your for conducting for the wiring in your home. So the applications of the materials do differ. So basically, the application of a material is primarily decided by the property which any material will have. So what does the property means? You know many properties, like thermal properties, right? Thermal property means how does the material behaves in correspondence to a heat or a temperature. Electrical properties, how does the material respond if you are passing an electricity through it. Or the magnetic property, what does the material do if you apply a magnetic field, and if you apply an external magnetic field, how does the material behave? So that decides the magnetic property. It's mechanical properties, very important. So the mechanical property means can we bend it? Is it malleable? Is it flexible? All those things will decide the strength of the material. You all have studied the Young's modulus in your plus 2 classes. So the Young's modulus is one of the important property which decides the mechanical property of any material. So basically, a material finds its application based on the kind of properties it possesses, right? Meanwhile, let me tell you that as part of the reading material which I will be posting through this for this course, I will be putting a couple of articles on historically how the materials influenced the advancement or the progress of the humanity. So I would suggest you to go through that material, which would be really a learning exercise for all of you. Continuing with the materials. Um, so the importance of the properties, right? So for example, if you take a wire with which you must have done the wiring in your home, you know that it has got a very a core material which is made of metals, and you know that it is made of copper. But why you are using copper there? Because the copper is having high electrical conductivity. So it is the high electrical conductivity property which we utilize in the case of of an electrical wire. But the contrasting situation is that we always cover it, or we always in the surface we always coat it with a plastic material. So when we buy a wire, we see a colored thing. It may be red or green or yellow, whatever it is. So, but that is a plastic one. In that one, you have this core which is made of metal. So this insulating material is necessarily made of plastic, which is having an opposite characteristic of the core material. So which is very important for the day-to-day use of the wire as an electrical conducting the medium in your house, because you don't want to get shocked, or you don't want a short happening in your electric circuit and get and blown yourself up. So therefore, both an electrical so here in a wire, two different materials are used for its opposing properties. One is conducting and another is the insulating property. So it is important that you choose your material based on its properties very effectively. So therefore, it is very important that we understand the exact details of the property a material possesses, which makes the material useful or useless in a context. So we continue with the rest of the properties in a while.